5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Have fun, good luck.
Thank you.
So here we have the Majestic Series Station.
Yeah, somebody might want to. This might be a decent time to just go ahead and say, like, although this technically is not the lowest percent you can get, like,
yeah,
all that kind of recent events that have gone on.
Yeah, I'll explain some of what's been going on. So, for those of you who have been frequenting Super Metroid speedruns for a while, this category is probably what you're familiar with as low percent nice. Ways that we found breaking the game 20 years later after it was released. We found that at first we could go as low as 8% in a human run, but it required a lot of glitches. And then recently it went even lower at 5%. So now, because of that, because there's a low percent glitch run that is technically 5%, we just call the regular low percent runs that we've done all the rest of this time 14% run, because that's how many items you pick up. For low percent ice, those are familiar with what happens in low percent ice. You only pick up 14% items, you kill all the bosses, and everything's normal. You don't do any out of bounds or anything like you do in 5% run.
Yeah, it's basically like low percent, no out of bounds.
Yeah, basically. And there's 3 variants of those low percent runs. So this is the ice version. There's also speed. Then there's X ice, which is technically still out of bounds, but that's Sarah's time there.
X is really, really weird. The out of bounds there is just like really bizarre.
I enjoy X ice. I don't know why, but
I don't see people do it very much. I wish more people did.
It's been a while since I did it. Low percent ice, 14 items you pick up. You pick up morph ball, bombs, two
Possibility that I'll have to load the save if I die or something.
Yeah.
Run out of missiles in Tyrian.
The worst part of the run, the worst bosses in the run are definitely Ridley and Mother Brain.
I think you mean all of them. Okay, I'm really sorry. Can you pause?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Paused.
Alright, hold on a second. Actually, is there still anything going on with the
They're saying the audio is bad?
Yeah, apparently there's a desync, and I tried playing the EMP back on my laptop, and it's not desynced. So it might be something that Gashi set up or something. Hold on a second. Okay, apparently it got fixed, so that should be okay. Sorry about that. You should probably give a countdown for Yashi to start the timer again.
Okay. You ready, Yashi?
He doesn't have a mic on, so...
Okay. Alright. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
We can talk about this like a little bit later, I guess, but the main variant to this particular category is, as Straeveras said, is low percent speed, and the main difference is, the main reason why there's like a split between low percent speed and low percent ice is a single room. There's one room that you're required to have a gravity suit and speed booster to get through, but there's a trick you can use with ice to get through, but you need one of those 2 items, there's no other way around it.
Yeah, it's the room before the box
Or
room.
so we thought.
Well, if you're Desirag, there's another way around it. Had to do something Crystal Flash.
Crystal Flash and grapple.
Yeah.
Have we done a roll call yet, by the way?
I'm Testrunner, I guess.
And Straeveras.
I'm Zoast.
I'm Chronic, that was here for Metroid 2.
And Samus is the silent one.
Strong sound type.
Please turn down the game sound. It's hard to do that when I'm playing.
Yeah, that climb is really intense. There's not really much you can talk about while you're doing that climb, so otherwise you start missing wall jumps.
I turned up the mumble slightly and turned down the overall. Turned up the mumble and down the overall.
So, Super Metroid starts out pretty much the same for every single category. You go down, you pick up more balls. You pick up your bombs, your missiles.
Yeah.
When you get into Bryn Stars, usually it starts deviating for the first time.
It's pretty much every category of this game is almost identical, even puzzles up until the super missiles. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's typically through like the first 5 to 6 minutes that it's exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. Hitaka, the items at 5%, literally all you have when you finish the game are super missiles, power bombs, X-ray scope, morph ball, and bombs. That's all you have when you finish the game.
So usually in 80%, we like those guys are just ran straight through. You take the damage from them, but in this run you're going straight to fight Phantoon basically, and you want to conserve your health as much as possible.
Yeah, it's a health conservation strat. It's pretty important for a lot of the categories that rely a lot more on your health, especially the low percents.
Yeah, the low percent category is pretty intense in terms of survival.
I'm interested to see if Zoast gets CWJ the first time.
Goddamn.
You just jinxed it. It'll be
If
fifth time
anybody,
now.
it would be him. Did you want to explain what CWJ was, Stray?
CWJ, you guys are gonna see it here in probably about 3 minutes or so, I think. CWJ is short for continuous wall jump. So there's a part on the way to Phantoon. Normally, the intended way it was designed to reach Phantoon, you cross this lake in criteria is with the grapple beam or grapple hooks from above. Well, instead, we just decide, screw using any items to actually legitimately get across this lake. We're going to jump across the lake. And so CWJ uses a very strict positioning. You start off flushed up to the door, and you open the door and start running. At the very last pixel you can possibly jump before you would fall into the lake, you jump. That first jump is a pixel perfect jump. The second jump, you'll barely clear the aisle in the middle, and you'll be able to wall jump off the very top of it. And that completes a second jump, which will get you to the other side of the lake. And I think that second jump is you have 2 frames of leeway to do that in.
Yeah. The key thing with the CWJ is it's essentially just a normal wall jump, but when you wall jump, you go towards the wall, then you wall jump away from the wall, and you like kills your momentum like as you jump backwards. But with the CWJ, you kind of go past the lip of a wall, and you like jump while you're still moving going forward, and you keep all your speed, and you can have a full, basically second double jump like space jump in there.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. It's a really neat trick. I never get tired. Any time that I see it done or do it myself, I never get tired of doing it.
It's one of those tricks that used to be harder for people, so it was like a prime candidate for puzzles, but now it's like, I don't want to put CWJ in, everyone knows what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of like task-only tricks that have slowly become part of the routes over the years. It's pretty funny.
My opinion of CWJ is that it's the coolest and the dumbest trick in the game.
I agree.
I heard people we were talking yesterday how the damage boost for the criteria in the game.
I agree, 100%. It is the worst. I cannot do it. I can't.
Nope. No first.
Aww.
When is 2-round Doppler, Phantoon?
Trying too hard to get it.
And this is CWJ right here. This is a really hard trick.
First jump. Sweet.
And there you go.
Hey,
That's it.
very nice.
Thanks.
Good job.
It's harder to do that off of the item grab than it is if you just grab the item and then do it.
Yeah, when there's no item there, like if you say missed the missile and came back a second try, you have this like nice visual cue and it's like all very smooth motion. But when the missile's there, like it interrupts and throws off your timing a lot.
Yeah, you got to do it almost like right when you get back to, right when you regain your movement back, you know. And so you just suddenly.
I think I
move and
used
have
like
to time it.
Yeah, like I think myself, I use an visual cool of the box disappearing to really time it somehow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here we come up to the first boss, I mean the second boss of the game.
I think it's very scary and
Coming
looks so nice. You've got one only one E-tank and you don't have any suits, so there's no damage reduction. You take 40 damage from everything he does.
Yeah, normally when you come here, you have various suits, so all the damage is normally halved.
As comparison to an 80% run, any percent run, you would have an extra tank and you would have various suits. So this fight is really hard to pull off without dying.
You also have like actually good weapons and such, which like X-Factor lets you kill the boss very quickly.
Right.
That's just why you do Doppler. I mean, come on.
Clearly.
One round Doppler, it's the same no matter what category.
Oh no.
Just do the 2-round even. That's safer.
I know what our next puzzle's gonna be.
Yeah.
1 round Doppler. Which everyone forfeit.
That was good.
1 round Doppler, no run button.
No, Ivan would do it.
And Zoast kills Phantoon in 3 rounds. Pretty good.
That was a really solid fight, by the way.
It was.
Most important strat, door bomb.
Awesome.
Best tech,
Oh, yeah.
thank you for inventing.
A small thing to mention there is something you probably don't really see normally, and most people watch speedruns of this game and like any percent. Phantoon does that attack pattern where he like swipes these flames back and forth for a while. He only does that if you use a super missile on him. So if you don't use super missiles, he doesn't do that attack. And in a speedrun, you save your super missile for the final blow, so you never get that like really long attack. But obviously in this category, we're really short on what options we have, so we just use the super anyways.
Yeah, limited ammo. It's a good time to farm,
Right, you get a little bit of farming.
since health is a major issue in that fight.
Yeah. Now, Cop Power used to do like a 5-round with 1 super at the end. But I always liked the 3-round, personally.
Clearing out the attic. He's got good health for
Yeah.
bowling, so
You want to have full health here if possible.
should be minimal farming required.
You can get through with only getting hit twice through like bowling, while the spikes are. It's kind of tight. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the cutting room's a little scary in this category if you don't have full health.
Oh. Clinch time.
Uh-oh.
What?
Very nice.
And K go through the choke.
Oh my god, dude. That's so close. So yeah, each of the spike hits does 60 damage, so if you got hit that last time, it would have been death. That was too clutch for me.
I was watching a double anti-bingo once, and I think that's correct. He jumped to the last spike, and he wasn't going to make it, and he had a reserve tank, so he paused at the last second, and he lived because he did that.
Marathon K go.
I think I had a reserve tank puzzle, and he had a similar situation too. He knows how to abuse those reserve tanks.
Yeah.
I knew you could K go statues, but it was really weird that it happened when I wasn't trying to.
Yeah, that is weird. Have you, Testrunner, have you seen the new task they put out recently?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty ridiculous.
I'm gonna have to check
how to
this out.
describe it.
The last task I saw was the 100% task, and that kind of was mind-blowing.
There's still a lot of stuff in that task that we need to take a look at, to be honest.
There's so many things in the 100% task I didn't even know you could do. I was like, what the heck?
That test is
Like
so
using
awesome.
the speed keeping to get some shine sparks in like weird places, and it's like, what the heck is going on?
I love the.
If only we could actually do that.
Right.
I love the attic
That's the
and the
thing
100% test. So good.
That's the thing about tasks in Super Metroid. If you look at a task for Super Metroid, it just makes the game look more ridiculous than any human player can already make it look ridiculous.
Yeah, if you haven't seen a Super Metroid test, I'd recommend it. They're really, really funny to watch. They just make me laugh because all the ridiculous stuff they do. Because the game allows for a lot of control in your movements, so.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where no matter how good you get at the game, you watch the task and you're just like, I wish that was me. Like, I've wanted to do tasks like short charges for so long, and it's not gonna happen.
So what Zoast stood there, he's breaking that glass early, so for later when he comes back, it saves him a second or two.
Yeah, it saves me the run and travel across the screen there, basically.
Yeah.
Get up there.
So the tutorial, like for those who aren't familiar, you have to beat the main 4 bosses of the game, which is well, Phantoon is one you already did, but he's gonna do Cray now, and then he's also gonna do Draygon and Ridley. And you need to beat all 4 to beat them. But in addition, part of the low percent, there's some items you pick up that might seem a little weird. In particular, he's gonna pick up Various Suit, which seems strange since he already has Gravity Suit, and Various Suit doesn't give you any bonuses at all. Like, it doesn't give you, if you already have Gravity Suit, it doesn't do any extra damage reduction or heat resistance. It does absolutely nothing. But the final boss, if you don't have Various Suit, the final attack will do double damage, and it means that if he doesn't have Various Suit, he needs to have twice as many energy tanks to survive it. So, in terms of low percent, it's either get Various Suit or 3 extra.
Which is not really low percent.
Exactly.
Okay, I think the term Kago, I think that came from the actual monster that's called the Kago, the green things that shoot out the storms.
Yes.
They're called
That's-
Kagos.
Yeah, and that's where I think the whole term Kago came from.
Right, because I'm pretty sure the first thing that was found to be able to be Kago'd through, at least in testing, was those. So,
Even though the platforms are like the things that you actually Kago through usually in runs.
well, it's the only one too, yeah.
Don't want to sometimes.
Let's not talk about Spike Room in Wreck Ship.
Gosh. I was just thinking
Oh, that's
about
the
that.
worst one to accidentally kick.
Like, that that new strat for it is great, but still.
It's tragic that I have to tell every part of my being to not ledge grab those platforms.
Don't ledge grab, don't turn, just don't do anything. Do nothing.
Just land and keep running.
Yeah, for those who don't... Go on.
No, go ahead.
I was also, for those who don't know what K-going is, if Samus is in some sort of like transformation animation, like you're turning around or you're morphing, unmorphing, she kind of has like super armor where she can't get like a lot of attacks just won't knock her back. If you take damage, you just keep going your normal speed. But it also means that if you touch certain enemies and such, you'll just pass right through them because you have like full momentum, nothing can stop you at all during the animation. So if you like morph as you're hitting, say a platform enemy, then you'll just fall right through it.
Yeah.
Or turn around, so on and so forth.
And there's, right, exactly. There's a lot of platforms where even if you turn around at a specific frame, you're just gonna go right through it.
Yeah, it happens. There's a lot of places where it happens sometimes in a run, and it's really frustrating because it's like, oh no, I jumped too far, I want to turn back, and then you just go right through anyways. And
Before wave beam, anyone?
Yep.
Good one.
I'm thinking the Brinstar Super Missiles after you're leaving them too.
Oops, that's not good.
And other times, not just to go through things, but to avoid the damage boost as well. When you're going down towards Crocomire, you go down that shaft after... there's a room right before Frog Speedway, the one that has the blue gate in it, and right after that room, when you're heading to Crocomire, you go down the one side of it, and you just turn when you hit the one Gamer, or Zoomer, whatever they're called.
I don't really know the difference, honestly.
That was one of the things that MTI was talking about earlier with Metroid 2, where when somebody comes from one game to another game, they can kind of take similar tech and find new uses for it. Because, like, Super Metroid has the K-Go, and then Metroid 2 has that instant unmorph, where it's when you're in a ball, if you get hit, you unmorph right when you get hit, which is like the exact opposite.
Nice damage boost.
Right, and by the way, with the collection of Ice Beam, he has all the items he'll ever get.
And that, best damage boost in the game, right there.
That's so sick.
I barely got the pause correctly. I almost paused too soon.
So this is called a gravity jump. The way water physics works in this game, if you're underwater, it just reduces your gravity like a ton, and it also like mobility a lot. So you just can't. Your movement is like terrible, and you can't really jump. But gravity suit just makes it everything's normal, and all that is not as is. But if you jump, you have full speed jump, and then you turn off gravity suit, then it changes to this really low gravity, but you still have your like speed from your jump, so you end up jumping ridiculously high.
And that gets used in several categories.
Need all those power bombs.
Which you can also do without Varisuit, but it's a lot more dangerous.
Yeah. You jump into lava and you still get damaged by lava with Varia on, but it's a lot less as compared to not having Varia. Zoast making sure to hit both pirates there with the supers, so he's conserving ammo.
So be very careful not to kill this last guy too, because he needs to jump off of him in order to make this.
Nice.
What it comes down to now with conserving ammo is the less farming he has to do before Ridley, the better.
Yeah, a huge problem with Lower Norfair is that there's pretty much no place to get any super missiles at all, except for right before Ridley's room. So if he runs out of super missiles, then he's in a really bad position. So he has to be a little careful with his ammo usage.
Yeah, the golden pirates, they are a definite problem if you run out of supers. Not really a problem, it'll take forever to kill them with a charge shot. The Kung Fu pirates.
God, that key hunter dodge. Those guys always scare me. those guys just do a ton of damage, even with Gravity Suit. They're one of the most damaging enemies in the game.
I think 50 damage.
Was it like 50? Yeah, I think it's
And
50.
then these guys do 50,
50
as well.
damage. Does the Disquitas come do 40?
Oh, they only do 40?
Yeah, I think they do 40.
I thought it was
I'm
50.
not gonna ask you to get hit by one so we can check. So.
No. No, thank you. See, I did not get a super drop from that guy. So if I didn't kill those guys perfectly at the same time earlier, I would have been short a super. It'd taken like 5 to 10 charge shots to kill that last guy off.
It's one of the funny things too that like people that are doing, I guess, low percent for the first time or something might not realize or remember that you actually need a super for that door too.
Yeah, it's the worst thing to get stuck outside that door and not have a super because there's absolutely nowhere to farm there.
Right.
Yeah, you have to either rely on like ridiculously low chances or just leave Norfair and come back with refilling.
Yeah, it's awful. I think the Kai Hunters have like the smallest chance, but it's not worth it.
Yeah, they also take forever to kill.
It's
They're
like I was
probably
saying
worse than
earlier about
pirates.
making sure to save as much ammo as possible. He has to farm here before the fight to make sure he has full ammo. So like the more he saves, the less he has to do.
Yeah.
So Ridley fight coming up. This is going to be a fun fight.
This fight takes a lot of concentration, so I understand Zoast if you want us to show up.
No, it's fine.
Ridley ain't no thing.
Ridley's a lot scarier unless you've done him a million times.
Yeah, sure enough.
He used to
Ridley
scare me a lot
has-
more than he does anymore. Like, honestly, Phantoon scares me a lot more than Ridley 100% now.
Once you fight Ridley enough, you can pretty much mold Ridley into doing what you want him to do.
Yeah, in my low percent runs now, I'm going for, like, not getting hit. So I get a good ammo drop. So I shouldn't have a
Yeah,
problem.
the big problem with Ridley, especially for new players, is that his AI is really complicated and he's like really hard to predict unless you've played him a lot and you can start understanding how he moves. And
how to
he does a
maneuver
lot
him.
of damage, particularly his tail. So if you get hit, especially in low percent, it can be pretty lethal.
Yep, Kurt's saying there, Ridley takes 200 shots to kill, but Zoast isn't counting shots right now. And after he turns the first shade of color, first shade of red, he'll start counting about, what, 22, 23 shots. And then Ridley from there can be finished off with 10 missiles and 10 supers, which is why he's not using them right now.
Yeah, you
Right,
gotta save
the
to
less
very
time,
end.
yep, the less time in that last part, the better, because, you know, right now it's slow and easy to dodge, but later it's pretty awful.
Exactly.
He gets pretty crazy.
I think at some point, I don't know if it was Jordan or somebody else, I'm really not sure. Somebody posted Ridley's AI, like the actual program for Ridley's AI. It's like 10 pages long.
It's like
or something.
it's enormous file. For those asking about like letting Ridley grab you, essentially the way it works is that he has a lot of AI patterns and attack patterns, and one of his attack patterns is to die. Like this is like start pattern, you die. But it only will happen if he's down to 0 HP. But it also means that when he hits 0 HP, he won't die immediately. He'll only die when that pattern starts. Which means, of course, that he can sometimes just troll you and just keep attacking even when he's, you know, out of health. But he also has an attack pattern. If he grabs you with 0 health, he'll always die immediately. So it's a way to manipulate him to die right away, and so on and so forth like that.
I'd like to note though that of course Phantoon is scariest boss. He is a spooky ghost.
Uh-oh.
Does anyone else think he sounds like an elephant?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yes.
sure everyone's thought that since forever.
Just want to make sure I'm not going crazy myself.
So he's getting to the point here where he'll be using the missiles and supers.
Just be very careful because he doesn't want to miss any of the supers.
Exactly.
Usually the best time is to wait for Ridley to cake or Pogo, because that's the easiest consistent pattern to hit him with.
Nice tail whip, Ridley.
And Ridley trolling him a little bit before he picks him up.
It's okay. I wasn't even close to dying, so... I would have been a little mad if I had full health, because then I would get health drops I wouldn't have before, but... To be honest, sometimes the escape from lower Norfair can be almost as deadly as anything else in lower Norfair, including Ridley. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Okay, I should be fine now. I've gotten better at escaping with less health taken, you know, less damage taken.
Yeah, usually when you start speedrunning this game, it's not really Ridley you become afraid of anymore, it's the lower Norfair escape.
In particular, Three Musketeers.
Yeah. And many more runs have been lost at the Three Musketeers.
Looks like
Three Musketeers are very interesting in low percent.
These guys are hard to dodge sometimes.
Not
Especially
just
the
low
last
percent,
guy.
a lot of runs on Friday night races die to Three Musketeers too.
Yeah.
More ball dodge.
Ooh.
It's a pretty sick jump in the spike strat.
Thanks. I'm in good shape though still. Dodging all three key hunters coming up from the, you know, where you go straight up for a little while through different platforms was nice. Okay.
When he got hit by those spikes, he was actually just manipulating RNG.
Yes.
God, it's scary, dude.
I hate that run so much.
Yeah, we'll get a low percent damage boost or a ball boost here. I think I'll get it here.
That round
Oh, it's too early! Too early.
Oh, missed the mo-
Yep, no ball boost.
No low percent ball boost. And now that we're done with Lower Norfair and Ridley, it's on to Draygon, our favorite boss in the game.
This spot just happened to be an amazing refill spot, and you definitely need a low percent. It always scares me a little bit. I'm always like, Zoast, don't accidentally get speed boosters since you're here.
Yeah, the worst is, I think the worst is getting that missile. Like, the one I usually get if I get one wrong is the missile besides charge beam, the anti missile. But luckily that's early in the run.
Yeah, that's at any percent. You don't get that 100%, so...
Yeah, any percent reflexes are too strong.
So again, we're refusing to take the way the game intends for us to take. Because it's slow.
Yeah, well, I mean, while you can't speed boost Draygon and low percent speed booster, it also means you don't have Ice Beam for Ridley and Mother Brain, which makes those boss fights significantly longer.
Ridley's actually not much slower because you can use supers. So.
Oh, that's true.
Or, I mean, you get 15 supers, I'm sorry. Instead, you get like 5 missiles. It's really
Yeah,
not
so
too
it
bad.
really changes color.
Yeah, because you can skip the missile in the mode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
However, Mother Brain is an absolute pain in the butt in low percent speed.
Nice.
Not just because it takes 300 shots instead of 200, but because you you can't freeze the rinkas when you're trying to shoot the glass out and all that. Do Mother Brain 1, basically.
Yeah.
So you have to constantly
Makes it
kill
really hard.
rinkas.
Got another gravity jump here. He's gonna do 2 of them in a row.
Uh-oh. Okay. That was a little bit early of a jump. You want to jump as late in the pause as possible to get a good gravity jump.
A really
Like
tiny
rock-
thing he also did there is if you jump from crouching position, you actually will jump slightly higher.
Yes.
It's very rarely used in runs, but it's you will see a lot in ROM hacks and such.
You'll see it in like RBO.
So here's the fun trick. It's going to do the Metroid ice clip through the platform here. This is the alternative way to get through if you don't have speed booster.
Yeah, that room right there is the main defining factor of the low percent categories.
Or if you had no power bombs, you could just do the Desi method.
Ooh,
Just Crystal Flash
okay.
today.
Crystal Flash has a lot of really interesting glitches.
That was a really good button.
Like Crystal Spark, I still want to see that in a run eventually.
There's the Spark Flash.
Or, yeah, Spark Flash.
Yeah, you can store a shiny spark, which is really awesome. I actually used that for one of my bingos recently.
Yeah, I always thought this was a very funny way to get to this room. It's the only way.
Bingo puzzle.
Yeah, you obviously can't go. You can't go through the normal outlet because there's an energy tank in the way, and you don't speed booster, so you can't go on the bottom. So you go like half and half.
You can skip the Crady tank and get this one instead, but it's obviously one less
Yeah,
E-tank for all
one
of
less
Norfair.
E-tank for Ridley.
My last time I RTA'd this, I actually did that successfully.
It would save like what, 15 seconds.
Yeah, maybe 10. I'm thinking 10, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure at all.
But you need to make sure you have a pretty solid Ridley fight. There's not really room for error.
Yeah, and the escape again is very dangerous. All of Lower Norfair is dangerous with one E-tank. Or two
Is it a
E-tanks.
good Coliseum.
Would that be 2 E-tanks? No, 1 E-tank, because you get the second one at Ridley. So you'd have 1 E-tank going to Ridley and in the Ridley fight, and you'd have 2 E-tanks in the escape.
2 maybe. Yeah. Now for the giant shrimp. Does anyone have any tartar sauce?
I do not.
I'm familiar with, so there's 2 different things. A Crystal Spark and a Crystal Flash are 2 different things. But they give you slightly different results. So a Crystal Spark is what happens when you're doing a Crystal Flash and your animation is interrupted because of Draygon picking you up, because Mother Brain shoots you with her Hyper Beam. When that happens, you end up with this inert shine spark that if you jump at all straight up without spin jumping, you'll activate it.
Sometimes it's called Speed 5.
And then the crystal flash is the result of a crystal flash interrupting the beginning of a shine spark, which you would get a stored blue suit that way. And the blue suit's a little more desirable actually, because you can actually run around a lot better. If you jump straight up, you won't expend your shine spark. Whereas with the other one, that you will.
That's unfortunate.
Aww.
So yeah, if you can bomb jump up there before the door opens up, it's faster because you don't have to pause for the gravity jump. This is a really hard wall jump. Dude,
I hate this wall jump.
Yeah. All in all, that was a pretty bad Draygon fight.
I'm not a fan of a lot of the things in this category. I've only done it one time for a reason. I did notice though, like after you do low percent of any variety, Ridley is totally different for every other category for you.
Yes.
You can read Ridley a lot better after you're...
Learning low percent forces you to learn Ridley and understand his AI.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
it makes
Secret
fighting
power.
him, makes fighting him in any percent like a completely different animal.
Yeah.
It really is the best way to get good at Ridley is to just do low percent.
That I just want to make a disclaimer that it's not us saying, hey, if you want to learn any percent, go do low percent. Don't do that.
Yeah, just get more energy tanks. It'll make your life easier.
No balloon boost. It's okay though. It's kind of useless anyway. This is one of the hardest gravity jumps in the game. In any speedrun, at least. I think I might have got it there. It's a pretty precise gravity jump.
Yeah, it's a lot more precise. A whole lot less room for error.
Double bomb jump.
This is the reason I collected some of Draygon's drops. Since I was there already, I decided to get a super missile from him. So
Now we're off to Mother Brain.
wouldn't
Looking
have to
for
bomb.
the next wonderful fight.
yeah, Turian is probably the most dangerous part of this run. Possibly. It's hard to say.
I think for Mother Brain, the viewers will be on edge the entire fight.
I'd like to make a note of that too, like after all the stuff you've seen and like all the stuff that you can easily die from, Turian is the worst part.
Good thing it's at the very end.
Save the best for last.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? You just spent 5 minutes on Mother Brain? Whoops. Do it again.
I'll probably take my headphones off at Mother Brain so I can count and concentrate on that.
Do you have a backup save before Mother Brain, or are you just want to safety save?
I have a backup save before the Metroids in case I don't get enough supers from them.
Alright, fair enough.
Would serve as a Mother Brain save.
RNG can strike at any moment.
Yeah, one of the things that makes Torian really frustrating is you have to use your ammo to kill the Metroids, but you also need your ammo to kill Mother Brain, and there's no super missile refills after Metroids. You can refill your missiles, but not your supers. So you have to make sure you have at least 9 supers after killing all the Metroids, and you really wouldn't want to have 10.
Yeah, you won't have 10 in this category for sure. Or it slows down. You get
Probably one of the most common ways that in any percent run will die, especially towards the end.
Yeah, you lose probably 15 to 30 seconds if you end up with 9 instead of 10 supers or something like that. I don't really know what it is, but you don't want it to happen, basically.
At least it's not like the low percent speed run though.
What do you mean?
With low percent speed, so there's 2 ways you can kill the Metroids, which is, the first way is the traditional way,
Oh,
you freeze them and
okay.
shoot them with missiles.
I'm following you now.
The second way is with power bombs. It takes 3 power bombs to kill a Metroid, but the problem is there's a difference between you killing them if you kill them by freezing them with missile and shooting with the missiles, you get how many drops out of them? Like
5 drops, I think.
5 drops, yeah. But if you kill them with power bombs, you only get 1 drop. And so
And
1%
you only have 1 power bomb expansion.
Yeah. So 1% speed, it's pretty common that, oh, you don't drop power bombs. I have to go back to my ship and refill.
Yeah, you need to make sure to kill all the Metroids in the room all at the same time with your 3 power bombs, and just really hope they drop power bombs. Otherwise, they'll leave and refill, and just come again.
It's actually like a...
Last 2 Metroids in room 3 decided to drop me absolutely nothing. Okay. Got 2 from the last room.
It's actually like an interesting thought. I wonder if the developers intended that, you know, if you kill Metroids with power bombs, which is allowed to be done, but not the way they prefer, that they penalize you by making them drop less stuff.
There's a nifty little trick. He uses pseudo screw, which is like spin jumping while holding a charge to take damage and regain your invincibility timer immediately, so that you can just damage yourself really, really fast, and it makes this cutscene short.
Yeah, I'm automatically
The reason
at
he doesn't-
0 energy when you
The reason it
grab.
doesn't usually do the normal skip here is you can do the Metroid skip without high jump boots, but it's going to take about 20 jumps, in which case the cutscene's faster.
Yeah, I was about to say why you know low for Metroid skip.
Yeah, you gotta go to the refill anyway.
That is true too.
I guess like in 80%, like even if you did have to go to the refill, like it's faster to skip the Metroid because that room is just faster.
Yeah, because you can get a 4 jump skip.
I know that's what you're
80%.
saying.
It saves
Just-
time for the cutscene.
Make a new category, low percent swag.
Only hard tricks.
If you do not get low percent Metroid skip, you reset.
I might do a save here just in case.
That also includes 1-round Doppler, by the way.
Wait, you
Yeah.
don't need missiles for the save room, do you? I don't think it's blue room.
No.
No.
I'm scared.
I think there's only 3 redded. No. There's 4 redded save rooms in all the game, is that right? 1 in Brinstar, 3 in Meridia,
Oh, red save rooms?
and 4 in Meridia. Why does every save room in Meridia have a red door?
It's actually kind of tradition in Metroid games. Usually the heaviest guarded door is usually the save room, which is not always held, obviously. This room's kind of weird, by the way. So normally have these DB type walls, and they take a ton of missiles to kill, but they actually stay dead, so you can like destroy them, leave, refill your missiles, and come back and repeat. But you don't even have enough missiles and low percent to do even that. So what he did there was a ZB type clip, where you freeze an enemy in the wall, and if you take damage and get hit by the enemy, then it actually clips you and pushes you 1 pixel into the wall, and you can just jump through because you're inside of it. It's a little weird. If in the speed booster route, you have this even crazier strat where you build a shine spark in an insanely small amount of space, and you can just shine spark kind of diagonally through it. But the main thing is that I guess the save memory, there's 4 Zebatites in the room, and each one spawns after you kill the previous one, so there's only 1 at a time. So if you just don't kill the first one, then the rest of them just don't spawn.
It's actually kind of funny seeing like the next one spawn if you did the Zug glitch and then killed it anyways.
Yeah.
So now this part is very arduous for the runner. 200 shots. Zoast, I think he took his headphones already. He is counting every shot. The special beam attack you saw with the ice beam, every one of those particles counts as 1 shot, so that gives him a little bit of time. But 200 shots total to get through Mother Brain's second phase. At shot number 150, he's going to change his stand seconds to prepare for Mother Brain's catch-up beam, which can be tricky sometimes, transitioning and making sure not to get hit by anything.
AKA welcome to butt clench percent.
Yeah, this is really scary. Most attacks here will, if he takes probably around 2 hits, it's pretty much death because her final attack's gonna do 300 damage, so he has to have at least 300 health to survive the fight. But her catch-up beam will do over 100 damage, so if he gets hit by that, it's a game over. Or something like that. I don't remember exactly how much damage it does.
It doesn't matter if you get hit, it's over.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
Like
it can be pretty hard to dodge.
The onion rings are pretty scary too because you can get comboed by them.
Yeah, each onion ring individually does 20 damage, but if you get hit in the wrong way, they'll just combo you and do 80 damage total.
Right, like by some horrible luck you get stuck in the corner or something, then you're pretty much screwed.
And these are all real forms of food that Mother Brain is emitting from her mouth and eyes.
Yep, we have
Mother's burger joint.
Yep, we have crinkle fries and tater tots and onion rings.
You can actually destroy the tater tot bombs with a regular bomb if you place it before it explodes. That a lot of people don't know.
I've watched this so much, like I don't even get stressed anymore until catch-up comes.
One of the annoying things about this fight is when Mother Brain starts inching forward, she won't go back until you shoot her in the head.
Yeah, like that's one of the worst things that can happen is like you panic and then she just keeps inching forwards and then you just get stuck in a corner with her.
It's worst. I think we're transitioning now.
Alright, now it's the really butt clench.
Attacks so fast and just comes out of nowhere. It's gonna be very difficult to dodge. You have to predict it, otherwise you're just gonna get hit. Mother Brain also really likes to combo her attacks together. She'll drop a bomb expecting you to jump into the air, so you have to either watch out for that.
I'm personally a fan of the tater tot to french fry ketchup combo. Probably the worst one you can get, almost.
Well, that was scary. I think that right there was pretty much the worst combo. That's exactly what you just said.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. Luckily, french fries and bombs don't hurt that bad.
Alright. He's good.
Very
Good job,
That's
Zoast.
so scary.
Thanks. But there are some dangerous parts in that.
Yeah. You get one of the worst combos there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was talking about how, like, one of the worst things that can happen is, like, a tater tot and then a french fry and then ketchup and it happens.
Thanks, Chronic.
I know, like, Straeveras is like, hey, pretty much like what you just said. I was like, whoops. I understand if you remove me from the channel.
No.
Just a quick reminder now that Mother Brain's basically dead. Just to make so just let us know when to hit time to stop the timer.
Okay. Thanks, Flavy.
The escape sequence here is a little different than normal 90% because he doesn't have speed booster, but it's pretty similar. The older glitched 90% category that was around when that stuff was first being discovered, the escape sequence is very, very difficult because you skip Mother Brain and you can't really kill any of the pirates in the escape sequence. course, in the current, glitch run, you don't even go to torrent at all, so that's not even an issue. This game's kind of silly now.
And it changed over and over and over again within the matter of like a week.
Yeah, just more
Like,
and more
it just-
stuff just kept being found.
Yeah, it just evolved over and over and over again, like stuff that we've been looking for years, and like the game had stayed mostly the same for like 20 years now, and then all of a sudden, game's dead.
To be fair, a lot of those found was actually just rediscovered. A lot of things were like already known about, just not really heavily explored, or just not really.
Yeah, it's just more of, doing it in real time consistently.
Yeah.
Well, being able to trigger the escape is pretty new and pretty important.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
That's pretty game breaking.
Yeah, like it went from getting into escape backwards and reserve buffer to that not being a thing, and then just triggering it from somewhere else, and it's just ridiculous.
I'm particularly happy we found another way to do the low percent glitch because I wasn't looking forward to, 12 minutes of X-ray climbing.
Yes.
Yeah, if you
I'm
want to
glad
watch
the
that
new-
pass, don't bother.
I'm glad that the new X-ray
Or
method
just
was found for triggering an escape, because
Yeah,
before
it's
that
interesting.
it was kind of just a watered down version of the GT code run before that
Mhm.
was found, which is pretty much the most recent thing that was big that was found. Was that trick with X-ray?
Yeah, like the new stuff, I haven't even like looked into it too much, or I haven't even like tried it. It's just really, really crazy now. It's just insane.
All right, this time's coming up when I face forward on the ship. Right now.
Good game.
Thanks.
Yeah, GG.
That was as solid as I could have hoped for a marathon run.
I think that was 5606. Even though the timer said 5607.
Yeah.
What is it?
I think it's 5606. I think the timer was like a half second late or something.
Okay,
So yeah,
That's pretty good.
That's a lot for the run. That was awesome.
no problem.
Yeah, that was really good. It's nice and deathless.
Yeah.
That list is good.
Yeah, that's probably the most impressive part.
Record for this category currently is 5503.
So being within a minute, that's pretty awesome. Alright. So, would you guys like to just roll through the credits and then start the next run, or do you want to start the next run immediately?
I'd like
Probably
to use the bathroom real quick, so this gives me a chance to do
Okay,
that.
so we can let the credits run then.
Yeah.
Give the people what they want. They want the Beard Force.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. How could I?
Speaking of, I actually haven't been around too much, but I checked Deer Tier, and I saw Cot had a, 44, 34 or something like that now?
Yeah, he was grinding 8% pretty hard for a little while. He's just got that time, I think, within the last week.
Okay, yeah, because I check it every once in a while. I just haven't been around much. I was like, wow.
For those of you watching, deertier.com is the website we use to keep track of all of the records for Super Metroid for all the different categories. So you check it out sometime.
Yeah, it's
including
not even
the best
just
categories.
like, it's not even just record keeping. It's even like just leaderboards in general.
Yeah.
Best
Yeah.
category, 100% map.
Yeah, I was about to say, dude. I'm glad we're on the same page.
I still have not taken that record back, and I probably won't.
Oh, it's such a good category, dude.
I didn't realize it got taken from you.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. They just don't post their time. Is
I
that
did
the
a
thing?
run. Oh, okay. I did a run last night and I ended up missing 3 squares, so
Do it again, man. It's fun.
yeah, I will.
They should make 100% scans where you have to use X-ray visor on every enemy.
Or we can pretend that that was never a suggestion. I mean, if anything needs to be put up on Deer Tier, it's Croc RTA. Just saying.
So I talked to Mr. Landmaster recently, and he's actually been working on redoing a lot of the back end of the website, so it's a lot easier for him to update like the categories, everything. So from what he told me, that's going to get pushed out sometime next week.
Cool. Make sure RTA goes up. I'm serious.
Dear Force!
Dear Force.
Force of Deers.
Burning with the white hot intensity of 1,000 deers.
Awesome.